Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you're viewing this. My name is Mike, and I am the Crypto Liberal. Thanks for joining me again today. Nothing's happening, man. Nothing is flipping happening, right? The Bitcoin goes up to 30,500 and then back down to 29,000 and then up to 30,000. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. It's hanging on this line longer than I thought it was, particularly with how the legacy stock market like performed today. You know, it was up, and I thought if that were to happen, Bitcoin was going to go up. Right? Here's what I tweeted today. You know, I said a breakout is literally imminent. Haven't been wrong yet. Well, I might be wrong now. We'll post another video soon, but here's my latest. So, you know, I put a link to my video in, and we were right then we were sitting at 30,100 something, and I thought, oh, this is gonna come. And then literally like 10 minutes after I put that out, again we sank, right? And then we went down to 29,380, and I said, well, don't be deterred. BTC is well above support, and it still is, and I can hear the stampeding bulls on the horizon, right? Well, I don't know if the stampeding bulls are coming. You know, let's go to the chart, right? I mean, this is getting ridiculous. We're still above support. So, right, let's look at this. We're still above that support line. Still above it. We're sitting at 29,200. You know, still well above that support line, which we bumped up against several times in the past 2 weeks. And the support line, again, let's just remind everybody, right, how far back this goes. It goes back a year and a half practically at this point, right? I mean, I just drew it. I drew it back before we even crossed it at all, right? I mean, back in first time we ever crossed it was in February of last year, and obviously I didn't have the line in there at this point, but so we shot up above it real quick, but came down real quick. And then here's really, where we started flirting with this line. So, back after we came back down below that line, and this is around $50,000, right? We bumped up against it, got rejected, but then went above it pretty quick. And when was this? In like March of 21. And then, so after we got above it, we came down and touched it right here, right? In March 25th of 2021, and tested it, and right, we used it as support and promptly went up to 64,000 right here in April of last year, tax day, April 15th, and then got rejected off of that upper trend line and came all the way back down and touched it again as support, and then kind of went back up. And then this is where I think the descending channel that I've drawn here gets a little screwed up, just because we had this giant liquidation event. I think when we came down and touched it here after we got it rejected at 64, and on April 25th we came down and used this line as support, and we started to go back up. I think everybody started jumping on the long train, and we're going back to 100,000 and got suckered in. And this is why I say do not trade on leverage, right? Do not trade on leverage, because at this point we were starting to go back up, and everybody thought, okay, yep, we're back on the train to 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. People were still predicting that back in beginning of May of 2021. And then bam, that giant liquidation event, right? Where we went all the way down to about 30,000, 28,000, right down here. And it took us a couple months to get back up here. And so again, this trend line, this lower trend line that we're bouncing off right now, we came back up here, and it was resistance. So I mean, this trend line is beautiful, I think. So it was resistant, got rejected, and went back down. And this is back in what, July, end of July last year, and got rejected, but went back above it, and boom, right? We went above it and flirted around in the middle here in the channel for a while, and then we came back, perfect support here, right? September of 21. Man, perfect support. Look at how we just flirted with it a couple times. We touched it on wicks, we touched it on candle bodies, and then we were off to the races up to 69K, right? And again, I think everybody's thinking, oh, we're on our way to 100K by the end of the year. And everybody started going, doing their leverage longs, and bam, rejected. But this time, right, this is why I think this is such a beautiful channel. So we got rejected, really hard right here. and came down and touched this perfectly, touched it perfectly, in January. I think this is January. Yep, January 22nd of this year. We came down and touched it perfectly, went back up, and and flirted around again in the middle here, went up and even touched that upper support line or upper resistance line again. And this is in April of this year. And then we got rejected. So we came back down and now we're flirting with this lower line again. And it's taking us longer to get off of it than I thought. I thought today maybe we would see some follow through from the stock market on Friday, rebounding off of its lows, and the stock market, held up its end of the bargain today, right? And so the stock market was doing good today. The stock market was up 1.5 on the Nasdaq, up almost 2% on the Dow, and the other indexes were also up. And Bitcoin was up over the weekend, right? I posted this on Friday that I said, I think on Monday things are going to start happening. And they did for the stock market. But Bitcoin, man, over the weekend we went up a couple percentages, or maybe just a percent, or we went up a couple $1,000s, right? Almost $2,000. Because we were in low 29s when I posted that on Friday, and we almost made it up to 31. And heck, it went right back down to 29 today. So I don't know. And the other thing that's encouraging to me, like, let's look at the stock market real quick, right? So like I said, the Dow was up 2% today. The Nasdaq was up 1.6, and the biggest thing, right, is I've been calling this out. The DXY, the dollar index, is down over 1% today. Today alone, that's a huge move for the dollar. And when that goes down, usually everything else is going to go up, and that includes, your stocks, your Bitcoin, your crypto, everything kind of goes up when the dollar is crashing like that. And it's not really crashing because it's gone up so much. But if this continues, the dollar keeps going down like this, I think the crypto has no choice but to move up. So I'm still, hey, as long as we're above this support line, I think we're good. I'm still of the opinion that we're not going down to 20K. I'm still of the opinion we're not going down to lower than that. And I've seen 13K, 18K, and and I think part of the problem is today I was kind of visiting some other YouTubers, crypto YouTubers today, and I think they were all of the same mind that we were about to maybe have a move to the upside a little bit, and I think everybody maybe got a little premature with their calls, including myself. I still think we're going to move up before, if we do go down to, back to revisit 25K or something like that in the intermediate term here. I still think we got to go up first, because 8 weeks in a row, we've gone down 8 weeks in a row, and it's never happened in Bitcoin before in its history. So I think we got to go up at some point. We have to, and so we'll see. I mean, that's the only thing we can do is wait and see, right? But today is the day that for our account, we track, like I've been saying, we're at or near a bottom, I think. So when we are at or near bottom, I put money into Cardano, I put money into Ethereum, and both of those are gonna, your returns on investment are gonna outshine those on Bitcoin. So today we're putting our fictional $100 into Cardano, putting our fictional $100 into Ethereum, and are putting $100 fictional dollars into Bitcoin. And by the end of the year, we're gonna see which one is where your return on investment is better. And by a year from now, we're going to find out which is better. And 5 years from now, we're going to find out which is better. And so let's figure out what we're putting in today. So Bitcoin, we're going to buy $100, right, at $29,232.74. And Ethereum, we're going to buy at $100 at $1,984.96. Okay. And then Cardano, we're going to buy at 52.58. 52 cents, 58 fractional cents. And that's what we're gonna buy today. $100 each, and I'm gonna put that out on crypto Twitter, and we're gonna find out where we're at. I do think that we are lower. Let's see here if I can find it. No, I can't find it. Get back in here. Okay, so we're yeah, I think because since we've been buying or the market is down, we are lower on Cardano and Ethereum than our return on Bitcoin so far. But again, that I think that's just temporary, because when we start going up, Cardano and Ethereum are going to outshine Bitcoin. My opinion, right? It's just my opinion. I've been wrong on when I thought we would start moving up, but hey, I've been right on that support line, and I'm still the only one that I've seen have that support line there. Other people have these symmetrical triangles drawn, and we're going above it and we're going below it, and and everybody's kind of weirded out about, they can't determine the direction of the market. That support line is held perfectly, and hey, it'll break at some point. That descending channel I have, it's going to break at some point. I think it's going to break to the upside eventually. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll break to the downside and we're in for 20K, 15K. I don't know. We'll see. If you like my support line, if you like my descending channel, give me a like, give me a subscribe. I really appreciate you joining. I hope I'm adding some value to your own analysis and your own research, because we're all in this together, right? And it's never fun when things are going down or sideways, and money is, and you watching your dollar value, your portfolio go down. But there is an end. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and it will happen. So just hang with it. Hang in there. I love you all. Thank you for joining. Give me a like. Give me a subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at crypto_liberal if you are so inclined. And that's it. My name is Mike. I'm the Crypto Liberal. Thanks for joining. Have a great afternoon or evening.